Welcome to the first episode of Somewhat Analytics. In this series, Parker Rogers, that's me, and Kaustav Mitra meet with industry experts to discuss the vast world of data and analytics. Although data and analytics is the main course, there is always a healthy serving of completely random and unrelated topics. In our inaugural episode, we have a remarkable guest with over 10 years experience in data and analytics. His formal education includes a bachelor's and master's in statistics and economics. Throughout his career, he's climbed up the ranks from BI analyst to analytics team manager to head of data and platform, and he presently owns and operates his own agency, Hanalytics, a full-stack data marketing agency offering modern solutions to boost growth through data. Whew. That was a long sentence. But in other words, he knows how to turn data into money. Please welcome Hamis Badarou. Okay, Hamis, let's pretend that you are at a family gathering and your 80-year-old uncle who knows nothing about this industry asks what you do for a living. What do you tell him?
I will tell him that I'm providing organizations some insight to better accelerate their growth. That will summarize all the things, all the work that we are doing with data.
I like it. That's short and sweet. They won't be too confused.
Yeah.
And now getting more into the weeds, what do you actually do?
So what I'm actually doing right now, I'm building a modern data stack for a company. It's going from data collection to data storage, to data consolidation, data orchestration, data visualization, and data activation. That's what we are doing at Hanalytics. Collecting data, transforming data, and then make a dashboard with a Looker, Tableau, and other BI tools, and then building for some company composable customer data platform, and then doing all the activation, operating all the activation for them.
So you're pretty much setting everything, setting up their whole data product.
Yeah, I'm pretty much setting everything because of my experiences. You know that formerly I was digital analytics expert. So I was working with Google Tag Manager, Google Analytics. I kind of have a better view of how to use data. And then we are merging this data with data coming from all of the organization. So data coming from CRM, data coming from the transactional tools, data coming from, maybe other SaaS tools that have been used by every team in the organization. And we are gathering those data in a data warehouse like BigQuery or Snowflake. And then we are operating the consolidation. So we are trying to join this data to find some insight so that all the teams can take better decisions and operate some growth hacking with those data.
Awesome. So this is a long question. I tried my best to make it sound simple. Here we go.
Yeah.
So as a founder, you have complete control of how data is utilized in Hanalytics. And how has your perspective on leveraging data in your organization changed compared to when you were simply an employee at somebody else's organization?
I would say that when I was an employee, I didn't have the global view of how data is flowing through the organization. I just have the view of what I was doing, doing data collection, and it will stop there. Now that I have my own company and now that I'm building a modern data stack for my clients, I'm having now more retrospective view of data so I can identify where the data is, how to collect it, how to store it, and how to make the data talk for my client, and also how to activate this data. So that's changed. That is really a big shift of my experience and of my relation with data.
And follow up on that, are there certain data activities that you did as an employee that now that you're a founder, you see that it wasn't as valuable as you thought it was?
Yeah, I have to say, before I'm starting doing what I'm doing right now, we was using some methodology, when we were building dashboard with BigQuery, we were using query scheduler in BigQuery, and that was not efficient at all. I mean, you have to wait one query to run before another one, and you don't really know how to orchestrate all of that. Now that I have my own company and with the tool that we are using, like Paradime and Mage AI and other tools, we know how to orchestrate all our query in efficient ways and how to build a robust data platform and also how to build a robust customer data platform for our client. And this is the thing that client itself cannot do because he don't have all the perspective of how the data is flowing through the organization. I have to say that is a big shift between my status now as a founder of a data company and my previous status as an employee in the office and in a specific department.
That's a very interesting point that you made as you transition from being an individual contributor to actually having your own company and having that holistic view across the stack. So A question I have is your agency focuses heavily, let's say, on implementing the modern data solutions to boost growth. Now, what are the things that typically building for your clients? What are the main problems if you had to list out 3 or 5 main things that you are solving for your clients? What would that be?
So the main problem is that they are having data from a lot of tools, and it's impossible for them to check all the KPI in the same place. So that is quite difficult for them. I have a client in Europe that is operating like hundreds of marketing campaigns through 20 countries in Europe, and they are using Facebook, Google Ads, and those kind of tools. Before we worked with them, they were going to each account for each country to get data. So they were doing this with Excel. My job was to gathering all these data sources, to connect all of them with different tools, and then to bring all the data in the house, and then to bring all the consolidation and build the dashboard for them. Now they are gaining more than 8 hours of reporting. They have all the KPI they needed in one place in this reporting, and they are saving a lot of time. They are taking better decision because they can understand how the campaign, the same campaign, is delivering in a different country. Also, they can take action more quickly. They can take and make action more quickly because they have all the data up to date every 2 hours. That was impossible for them last year, and they don't know how to do that. So this is the main problem that we are solving for our client. For a small client, the main problem will be that they will be having marketing data in one tool. They will be having CRM data in one tool, and they will be also having, let's say, Google Analytics data, also data coming from tools like SAV tools, customer tools. So we are gathering all the data in the same place for them, building data platform so that they can check all the KPI in the same place, and also the thing that they were not doing that we are doing for them right now is to activate all this data for them through composable customer data platform.
That's really interesting because when you say you're saving them 8 hours, is that like over a week? That's the time that you're saving for them?
Yeah, it's over a week. So they were spending like 1 day a week to just gathering data from all the countries, from all the tools, and making the reporting with Excel.
That's crazy. That's like really, really crazy. So, a follow up question there is when you come across clients who are unsatisfied with their existing data solution, is that typically a result of what you think bad tooling or bad operations? What is it that you typically come across?
I will say that it's the tool of what you just listed. It's bad tooling because they will choose a tool that is not really relevant for them or not really problematic that they are trying to solve. And also the configuration of the tools. You know, with all the data that we are gathering for our client, there is a lot of data that are stored, and we don't need to store everything. We can, let's say, we can optimize the way that those tools work. We can optimize the way that we are storing the data. We can optimize the way that data are consolidating. And there are a lot of strategy, there are a lot of quick win that we can implement to use the tool better and to get the most of these kind of tools.
Got it. And what tools would you then consider like must haves, and what do you think are tools that are an overkill when you are working with your clients?
We have a preference here at Hanalytics. We work a lot with Paradime. So Paradime is our go-to tool. I mean, it's really simple, to implement. For data consolidation, it's very, very simple. It's straightforward. And also there's a lot of features that we didn't find anywhere else. So for our site, every client, we are migrating all of our clients on Paradime. So Paradime will be our go-to tool for data consolidation. The tools that we are using for data warehousing and compute engine, creating, VM for specific open source tools will be a Google Cloud Platform. Google Platform is our second go-to tool. It's quite simple. There's a lot of documentation, and it's one of the best tools that we are using. It's provide more value and quickly. So those two tools only, it's a game changer for our client and for the people that we are work with. And obviously, if we want to talk about data ingestion, so for that, it's really quite specific. regarding the problematic that we are trying to solve. If we are trying to solve maybe let's say a marketing problematic, we will go for a tools like funnel.io. That is quite powerful for marketing data ingestion. And if we are trying, to do some data replication with one of two marketing tools, our go-to tool will be Albite.
Got it. What would you say are things that you'd consider as an overkill? It's too complicated, it's too much, you don't really need that.
Okay, I would say so for my personal experiences, I will say Airflow. Airflow is too much. I found Mage.ai that is very, very, very simple, and it's quite new, but it's simple, and you can do a lot of things with Mage AI. And also we have a French tool that is quite new, and the name is Kestra for that orchestration tool, and it's quite simple too. But Airflow is quite it's a lot. It's a great tool, but it's just, for small company, for companies that are starting their journey in modern data stack, I think that tools like Mage AI is quite simple to configure and to set up to date. And Airflow can be overkill.
Gotcha.
And another question about Mage. So it's supposed to be a replacement to Airflow. Never use it. Don't know anything about it really. What exactly is better about the platform? Or is it simply just newer and Mage has goals to be better than Airflow?
It's better in the way that you can have some notebook in Mage. You can test your script in Mage before creating your pipelines. And also you have all the files that you need to have in Mage, and they are version control. The team is quite welcoming. They are very good at what they are doing. And it's quite lightweight. You just have to install a Mage with Docker in a VM in a GCP, and then you are good to go. They have some templating that are already. They have some blueprint and some templates that are already set up, and you just need to to configure some YAML file if you want to create your first pipeline. And also the big thing that we have in Mage that we don't have in Airflow is that you can run some end-to-end analysis in a specific notebook, and the notebook can be in Python or also in SQL. So that is a big change. And another thing that you can do with Mage is that you can create a pipeline, a simple pipeline. You are getting data from Arbite. You can create a block with a dbt to transform this data, and then create another block to ingest, to push back this data in a specific data warehouse or in a specific tools. So it's quite versatile. It's quite simple to take hands-on, and it's a very, very powerful.
Should we ask Mage to pay us for just telling everybody that it's
Before we start using Mage, we try another tool. It was really difficult for us to find the tool that will be simple to integrate with Paradime, because in Paradime they have documentation about Airflow, Prefect, and we find those tools quite too big for us and for our needs. Our clients are not that big, and also we are not really operating in IT teams. We are operating for marketing teams, and they don't need to have a big data orchestration platform. We just need to ingest the data, to trigger Mage, to trigger Paradigm, and also to trigger maybe our job for data activation. So to trigger high touch and census. And we find that Paradigm and Mage was the best combination for us. So that's how we are using Mage with Paradime and with Airbyte to create and to maintain a modern data platform for our clients.
That's a very interesting point. You said that you are actually building stuff for the marketing team and not for IT teams, because that's what we typically sometimes make a mistake in understanding, that for a marketing team, the priority is the time to insight and then acting on it. It's not the tooling and getting stuck in complicated stacks.
Yes, that's what I'm living every day. Marketing team needs data right now. They need insight right now, and they need to move quick. And the IT team will say, okay, no, we have to benchmark the tool. We have to check if this, that. And the marketing team, they don't have time, and they have the money. So we have to we have to deliver. And the simple way to deliver for us is to choose the tools that we are comfortable with and the tools where there are a great community. And Paradime and Mage.ai provide this for us.
And Mage, I'll send you my Venmo. Just feel free, just send me a few dollars for all that. And so I started my career doing marketing analytics and growth, but like the bare minimum. I was using the bare minimum, like Google Tag Manager and Google Analytics, just simple attribution. And I'm wondering, do you still encounter high growth organizations that don't need modern data solutions and are fine just using the hacky Google Tag Manager analytics setup?
I think that if they are only using Google marketing solution, they are just having a specific view of their business. They are not having the global view of their business. They need to merge this data. They need to consolidate this data with other data coming from other systems to better understand, to have a better understanding about how their business are performing. If they only use Google Analytics and Google Tag Manager for just data collection, there's no much insight that they will have. They will just have a Google Analytics insight, how the website are performing. But if they need to go deeper, if they need to understand which client or which customer are not returning, if they need to activate those data, they will need to get further. So they will need to exploit this data. That now you have a GA4, and with GA4, the data is in BigQuery. You can have the raw data in BigQuery, and you need to better understand your business, to create some data model, to create some modelization, and that's where Paradime enter in the game, to create some modeling and to join this Google Analytics data with data coming from let's say marketing, other marketing tools, data coming from other product analytic tools, and data coming from internal system, to better understand the customer journey, what the customer are doing on the website, how many times the customer contact the SRV services, and also how we can activate this customer that stop purchasing items on our website.
And have you connected Google Analytics 4 to any other platforms besides GCP? Like, does it work with Snowflake at all?
No, it's not with Snowflake. That's the trick. I mean, you have to. The only way, if you want to have the raw data, you will need to plug Google Analytics 4 with BigQuery. And if you only want to use some aggregate data, you can send those data in Snowflake, in Redshift, or anywhere else. I have some big company in Paris that are using Snowflake, and the GA data are coming in BigQuery, and they are pushing this data back to Snowflake automatically. So they are using GCP and BigQuery only to get data from GA4, raw data from GA4, and then they are pushing those data back to Snowflake or Redshift or other tools that they are using in the organization.
And is GA4 your tool of choice for analytics, or are you switching back and forth between that and something else?
So GA4 is our go-to tools because it's quite simple. And now with the new data model, you can customize the tool to get the best insight that you can have. I mean, the GTM tracking is quite good. You can get some valuable insight if you track your, let's say, how can I say, plan de tagage in your tracking plan is quite interesting, because with the new data model, you have all the hit stored in BigQuery, and you can recreate the user experience on your website, so you can see what users are actually doing on the website. But this is GA4. You have a lot of other tools that are quite powerful too. I'm thinking about Rudderstack. That's some company that I know are using. They are using Snowplow too. I think that Snowplow can be a really good solution, because all the data that you are collecting on the website can automatically be stored in BigQuery in BigQuery or tool of your choice. So you don't have to push the data in BigQuery. You can push data automatically in a Redshift or Snowflake with Snowplow. So Snowplow can be a really powerful solution, but it will be like let's say a product analytics tools that you can customize like infinitely.
And moving away from that, got an AI question for you. So, what AI data tools, if any, do you find valuable for marketing and growth?
Okay, right now we are trying. Let's say that we are trying AI in Paradime. We love the AI feature in Paradime so that we can do all of our data documentation quickly than before. It's tremendous. I mean, it's a save us hours and hours of work. Before that, we were trying to do the documentation with Notion AI, but it was quite painful. So the features, the AI features in Paradigm is very, 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 very great for data documentation and to speed up the data modeling. And the other tool that we are using is Polymer. I don't know if you guys heard about that. We are quite testing it. We don't really know how to use it. And the other AI tool, let's say maybe the other AI component tool that we are using is a Copilot in VS Code. So that's so to speed up, our scripting and to be more productive when we are writing scripts. That's some AI tools that we are trying right now, but let's say that we need to take the time to focus more on this. We are quite of new on this field, and we are still benchmarking all those tools.
Okay, so you're still benchmarking it, you're still learning about it. To understand more clearly, have you packaged any AI tools into, how do I say this? Have you, like when you're selling to clients, have you sold any AI tools in the product package, or are you still waiting to see how reliable and useful it is?
I'm not packaging it right now because some of our clients, our biggest clients, are not very comfortable with that because they're saying that they have some data issue. So we don't know if the data that we are pushing in these AI tools, let's say, will be saved by AI or stuff. So they are quite, let's say, they are quite safe. They don't really want to use that right now. But for some company, we try something that was pretty cool. So the problem is that too much inspire about how to write their newsletter. So we create a script for them. Also, they just have to put a subject, a tone, and also maybe one or two words, and they will have 5 newsletter content that they can use. So that's the one thing that we do. The second tool that we develop for one client is keyword generation with AI. We do this with X technology. I don't know if you guys heard about it. With X, we have a script embedded in Hest, and the user just have to input one or two words. And also we create description and add text that can automatically be implemented in Google Ads.
The newsletter thing that you were just telling me is really interesting. So I want to make sure to listen to this episode and learn a little bit more about how you're using AI to build newsletters. Kostov, so that I write a newsletter every other week. Kostov, how would you feel if I did absolutely no work and I wrote a whole newsletter in AI?
We should have an AI score at the end of the newsletter to say how good the AI was.
Yeah.
How much of my brain I had to use for this score?
Exactly.
And Hamis, now we're going to change gears for the sake of variety, right? We can't always only talk about data and analytics. So before this interview, I did a little bit of creepy research on you, and I stumbled upon your about.me website from 2015, which says that you've got a passion for photography. So my question is, was that real? Do you love photography, or was that a way to kind of just add a little excitement to a resume?
No, I love photography. I was doing photography since 2010. So I really love photography. I mean, I think that photography is the only way to fix an emotion. I mean, to not to fix an emotion, but to capture an emotion. When I was younger, and I'm not that old, but let's say in my 20s, I would go every week everywhere in France to photograph, some area. And, photography is one of my best things. And it's quite sad right now because I don't have the time to do that anymore. But yeah, I think that if I find more time, I will run back to that and, continue to capture some emotion and to build something with that.
Well, I think kind of pulling from there, I have a question, which is, What is the last thing that you got like really obsessive over? So this could be a movie, could be a life hack, could be a hobby, could be a genre of music. It could be anything, something that you got really passionate about.
It's cooking. I love to cook. I love to cook. You know that at the beginning of this year, I was trying to. I launched the company last year, and the thing is, I was trying to choose between launching the company or between starting a cook school.
That's very interesting. I would have never guessed that you would have thought about between analytics and a cooking school.
Yeah, but I was yeah, because I love to cook, and I realized that when in the lockdown, in the COVID time where we are all staying at home, I will cook like every day, maybe 3 times a day. So yeah, I was really passionate about that. I will take some courses and stuff, but yeah, that's one of my main goals to be graduate in cooking.
What's your best dish right now? What's your favorite dish to make?
It's quinoa salad. Quinoa salad with salmon it's too good. I love that thing.
It's healthy too.
Yeah, it's very healthy too.
And that is all the questions we've got for this episode. Hamis, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome,
And
guys.
what's the best way for listeners to reach out to you, find you?
You can find me on LinkedIn. My profile is public. I think don't hesitate to reach out to me. So I respond quickly. If also you guys are coming in Paris or want to visit this beautiful city, do not hesitate to contact me and reach me on LinkedIn. So
Yeah, Kaustaf, send me to Paris. Why not?
Absolutely. It's just at 1.5 hours from London.
yeah, and also in Paris you have the best cook and you can do some photography.
Exactly.
There we go.
Exactly.
I'm sold.
Exactly. Absolutely. My wife speaks French, so I'm sold too.
That's great.
Great. Hamis, thank you very much, and I look forward to talking to you again.
You're welcome, guys. Thank you very much for having me.
And thanks a lot, Hamis, for making time for us. Thank you so much.
It's okay. Thanks for having me.